I forgot. Forgot y'all was there. Talking about lovey-dovey. Hey, that kiss. Hey, that's what we get ready to talk about right now, you guys. Some kissing that happened that unfortunately wasn't consensual. Diddy, you gotta pick up on the memo when the men and women's, because I almost said just the women say no, but according to the stories, it's the men and the women's that is telling you no. And what Cat Williams say? You got to tell Diddy no. Cat Williams too. We also need to see where Cat Williams at, because you done stuff the whole 2024 with that interview. Ever since that interview dropped, it's just been BS back to bike, okay? But let's not waste the time, you guys. Let's go ahead and get into Diddy, because there's just so much that has happened. I really wanted to do this video earlier, but just life happened, doctor's appointments, and then on top of that, so much more information kept coming out. I didn't want to miss none of it, so let's just start with what we know. Diddy is in custody, all right? He was in New York, all right? And you know, this last few months, we saw him whitewater rafting on the beach with Stevie J, you know, enjoying his last little free amenities of this luxurious life that he's built for himself. But unfortunately, the luxury that he built for himself was on the back of other people, right? We know about how you not only don't want to pay, you don't want to do people right mentally, emotionally, and physically, but you don't do them right financially. You don't pay your artists, okay? And then by the time you do want to pay them, with that little trick that you did, let me turn this off for our waste gas, with that little bullshit that you did trying to offer everybody their royalties back, but by that time, this didn't mean nothing, okay? And then you wasn't slick. People who had to read the fine print, okay? Aubrey O'Day said it. She said if you sign for those royalties, you basically had to sign an NDA and you say that you weren't going to speak on other stuff that happened during Bad Boy. But he's arrested, and now obviously everything is becoming public that the feds knew. Y'all, the feds, this is a RICO case. The feds been on Diddy's ears for years. And basically what's been happening is, because I read on one of the posts that they basically been what's it called, surveilling him since 2008. 2008. They basically gave that nigga rope to hang himself. And that's unfortunately what a lot of you dudes do, black men in particular. Y'all literally hang yourselves and then get mad when the chickens come home to roost that you're not treated like the white man. Y'all already know, y'all the money doesn't make you get treated like the white man either. And I think that's a lot of what gets these black men caught up too, is the money gives them a false sense of security as belonging, right? Just because you enter the room with these other white men, and just because you're sitting at the table with these white men, you keep forgetting that you'll never be a white man, and nor will you be treated like it. So for all of you Fazon love, the Boosies of the world, who keep wanting to try and minimize what is going on with Diddy to, he's just a freaky ass nigga, that's all that is. Now all of a sudden it's criminal to be a freak. The way y'all are doing mental gymnastics to try and escape Diddy of the responsibility that he plays in this. It's not the fact that he's freaky. It's not the rub baby oil on you all that you want. Hell, slip and slide kind. Literally rub the baby oil on you and slide down the hallway butt ass naked if you want to. But the point is for it to be consensual. And because we have such a huge rope culture, y'all know what I want to say, because we have a big rope culture, it's oftentimes swept under the rug. It's the same reason why marital rope wasn't actually a crime until it became one, because they don't see that it's men love the control of things. That's why, this patriarchy is what it is. And when they start losing control, or they want to control people, they start doing the damnedest of things, i.e. blowing people's cars up, i.e. beating people up. Y'all saw the video with Cassie literally getting drug in the hallway. For all you Negroes who wanted to sit there and try to play peekaboo with the information, it's like y'all want to just sit here and see only half the information. Y'all want to pick out of all the deposition of all the legal stuff that came out. Y'all want to pick and choose which of the stuff y'all want to be like, well, he not guilty of that. Okay, he might not be guilty of that one thing, but he's still guilty of those other 30 things that's in the lawsuit. Like, to watch these men pick and choose, and then the ones like Fazon and Boosie, just shut up. Just shut up, because what you really are just showing and proving is that you're just like him. What you're really showing and proving, that is if he invited you to the party, you would have went. That if you saw a girl who was clearly under the influence to the point at which she's barely standing, you would have her. That's the energy that is giving. Now that we find out Diddy got thousands of bottles of lube and baby oil and drugs. I mean, we already knew the drugs was a part of it, because Carisha, okay, Miss Carisha, you want to sit there and act like you ain't involved or that you ain't got no part in this, but oh ma'am, you do, okay? We heard about you, you know, becoming Queen of the South, okay? We heard about you becoming Miss Griselda, okay? We heard about the pink cocaine that, okay, that got everybody lit and horny. Y'all mixed that with ketamine and what's the other one? Ecstasy, that got people all rubbing on themselves and, ooh, it feel good, okay? And then you sitting here, done got offered a drink of water thinking you getting rehydrated just for your ass to get drugged again. Like, these Hollywood parties get dark after hours, and I ain't just talking about the lighting, okay? Denzel Washington and what's that boy, Michael B or something, the one that was on Lottery Ticket with Bow Wow. And I remember that interview where he literally was like, I followed Denzel out the parties, leave 30 minutes before the devil get there, because Denzel by that time had been in the industry a long ass time, so he done seen it all, probably done it all, you know, and at this point, you know, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, you know. But also too, there is a certain cap that you as a person, you say, I'll never do this, you know, I'll never, you know, put myself in these situations to be confronted with, oh, if I saw somebody got punched in front of me, i.e. Dawn, you know, Dawn's lawsuit, when the fact that Dawn came forward after all these years, when she's been quiet, I just really attest that to Cassie. Had it not been for Cassie, y'all, I don't think any of this would have happened. Or actually, no, it would have, but I don't think it would have been to this extent. We would have never seen that video of Cassie literally getting dog walked in the hallway. And then you men that want to finally come forward talking about, y'all want to sit there and say it's a money grab. That's just probably always think it's about money. The only way y'all see things as value is financial. The only thing that y'all truly find value in is something that is, you know, the tangibles, the money, right? And women oftentimes, we find value in the intangibles. What can you do for me mentally, emotionally? Like the effort you put in, the energy that you output, you know, all of the things that you pour back into me. But the men don't do that. The men quite literally are siphoning from women, siphoning from men in this aspect too. Diddy like to do it with the men's. You know, he like a little bussy. A little walk in there, smell like butt ass, okay? Smell like straight up butt dussy when you walk in the room. Y'all, they sitting there talking about they had cleaners coming in. You know, when they would do these, you know, 1, 2, and 3 day little freak offs, and actually his assistants would basically have, you know, the nurses come in. Y'all know when they start doing like those IV drips that become real famous, like for hangovers and things like that. You get the vitamins, your liquid back up, your hydration back up, just to go off and again. Like, I want to go home. Like, I want to go home. I thought I was on. I told myself I was gonna come here, show up, shake a few hands, kiss a few babies, and leave. Why am I still here? Let me out, Diddy. I don't want to be here no more. Like, Dawn literally said in her lawsuit that when it came time to, record, do music, y'all know he had these different houses everywhere, basically for, artists, whatever city they pop in, just go to the house, record music. But Dawn would be like, when it was Diddy Kane and things like that, or making the band, go in the studio, do the music, go straight to her room, and she would literally barricade herself in the room because she was so scared of, somebody coming in and unfortunately doing something to her. And imagine being in that state, and then the person that is doing all these things to you is so wealthy, is so well known, is so seemingly untouchable, and he knows it so much that he has no problem putting his hands on women in front of a whole ass table. And Dawn, I really appreciate the fact that Dawn came forward with some names, okay? She did what, Cassie necessarily, maybe didn't want to do or couldn't do. But Dawn said, you know what? I'm dragging all y'all motherfuckers in this. Neo was at the table. Usher was at the table. Kaleena, your ass was at the table. We all watched Cassie literally get clocked. And everybody went right back to eat like... Can you pass me the butter? Yeah, pass me the salt too. And I'm sure everybody in the back of their mind is like, I know we all just saw what we saw, but is anybody gonna, we all not gonna say nothing? Oh, okay. All right. I guess I'll take y'all's lead, because these are people who have been in the industry. So if you're a newcomer, not to mention you're a younger woman, that influence of wanting to be in, a part of, the circle and just building your career is something that Diddy held over everybody. I could break your career, i.e. Wendy. Oh my God, Wendy girl, I miss you. I can just imagine you sitting in that purple chair ripping Diddy a new one. He got Wendy fired because she called him out for the shit that was happening at his parties. That magazine editor, she literally had to have a goddamn team sneak her at the back like she was a goddamn president, sneak her out the back door. Then Dawn, speaking of her stories of he would basically grope her and be like, oh, grab her titties, be like, oh, that's an A, lucky you, I want to bless you with some boobs, we gonna make them D. And Dawn is tiny, y'all. Dawn would be a whole ass stick figure looking like the letter P had she got them D boobies. And Cassie had to unfortunately move the same way too. Whatever Diddy said he wanted her to do, she did. She got surgery. She shaved her head. Literally shaved her head. Even though it was cute. I remember the shaved head. It was cute. But to come to find out and learn that it was a forced thing is what all of you men are starting to piss me off about, because y'all want to blatantly ignore the fact that all of these things that the people did around him were forced, were coerced, they were blackmailed into these things, right? I got everybody on tape. That's why everybody's so quiet, because they trying to think all the way back to goddamn 1990s. Like, damn, who did I have sex with in the 90s? Like, shit. Like, okay, there was Biggie. There was Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Beyonce. I don't know how y'all gonna go get unscathed in this. But it's kind of like, oh shit, like, this is a mess, literally a mess. So y'all know Diddy, like I said, he after the lawsuit that Dawn had, Diddy reached out to Kaleena, because y'all know Kaleena gave that stupid ass. I really wish people would just shut up. Like, if you don't have anything to add to the situation, just shut the fuck up, okay? You really do yourself more a disservice coming forward with some stuff that people can quite blatantly read through, because Kaleena wanted to very ever so slightly do a broad brushstroke of that's her experience. But see, mine on the other hand, that wasn't my experience. we experience the situation differently. Okay, so explain how you experience the situation differently, Kaleena. Okay, because we all saw Cassie get punched at the table. So if that was Dawn's experience of it, then what was your experience of it? How did you, perceive that event? Okay, and then it was, some of her accounts, mine don't match up with. Okay, some. Okay, so you're saying some of the accounts don't match up. All right, so tell us about the ones that do, Kaleena. So, speaking of Kaleena, we find out after that bullshit, like, press, whatever she released, the statement she released, when he got, locked up, the feds let it be known that they've been surveilling him, and there have been people he's been contacting to give fake stories, to give to try and bully them into being quiet. And Kaleena was one of them. Diddy called her 54 times since it went public that Dawn did that lawsuit and mentioned Kaleena. 54 times. And Dawn also stated that Kaleena was in an abusive relationship herself. So much so that she actually was trying to help her get out that mug. But unfortunately, a lot of times we know women will stay in those toxic relationships, partly out of being scared or out of fear, partly out of financial situations, or partly, unfortunately, being male identified. You're so engulfed in patriarchy, in the place that it has you in, that you're ignoring the fact that it's so detrimental to you. So many women do that. They ignore the fact that the patriarchy currently as it stands is detrimental to you, but you continue to do it because unfortunately a woman's value is in how well she can keep a man. So even though you know this man is trash, been cheating on you, had a baby on you, Rashida, no matter how much this man does, I'm going to stay in his vicinity and give him access to me because the world tells me that's the only way I mean something. So then you throw that on top of being the woman who's possibly a whistleblower. Constantly, all the time, y'all are talking about, oh, come forward, come forward. It don't matter when a woman comes forward. Y'all still are going to find a problem with it. Y'all still are going to throw stones. Because at the end of the day, if he goes down, then the shit that I do also is classified or is now only being, validated as bad actions. If Diddy goes away for the shit that he did, that's why Boosie said the stuff that he did. He doing something that we've all done in this industry. So if you've been a girl that been flued out, then you just need to be classified as a prostitute. Really? You want to play that dumb, Boosie? You want to play that ignorant? Never mind the fact that you flew out for the reasons that you flew out a prostitute was for your son. That's what you need to be worried about. Checking on your son, ask how he's doing. You more concerned about trying to get make sure Diddy don't look bad. Look in the mirror, sir. So yeah, like to watch men literally try and conflate the issues of why he getting arrested because he freaky. Did y'all not see that? Everybody saw that Cassie video. Everybody. So if that's something he felt comfortable doing, and y'all seen actual now evidence of him doing it, then that means a smart person would then infer that all the other accusations that are or whispers and stories that surround Diddy, 9 times out of 10 are true. Just like R. Kelly in the situation, the whispers, the murmurs, the stories about that man were constant. But people still worked with him. Diddy, them parties was rough. You knew that he put his hands on people. Hell, allegedly had Wale hanging over the balcony. And people still worked with him. But he's a little different because it's out of fear. Out of this motherfucker may have me off, okay? Just cut the cameras, dead ass, And so it's just really unfortunate that now we have this legal situation, and the more stories that come out and the more outrageous they are, it's like the more that these Negroes is out here making it seem like, oh man, that ain't man, he just freaky. That ain't nothing. But what about all the other stuff that y'all keep ignoring in this lawsuit? All the other stuff about people being drugged and forced to stay places. He left his assistant, the one that got gangbanged, that Dawn witnessed. He took her passport and left her goddamn stranded across all around the world. Like, I'd be pissed the fuck off. So now, because we know he does these things, threatening people, he want to sit here and try to get bail, because y'all know he's arrested. They tried to make bail, and he gave all the way down to the baby's passport, y'all. He's trying to prove that I am not a flight risk. But the flight risk is not the issue. The issue of you being out is because you'll start messing and tampering with the witnesses. You'll start tampering with the people who could possibly come forward. Now, I had this crazy idea, y'all. I was smoking, and I was thinking of something. An idea popped up in my head. Y'all, what if Dawn came forward and named Usher? Usher asked Dawn to name him. What if Usher, the reason Dawn felt comfortable finally saying something, obviously because she wanted to, but because maybe she felt like, okay, there was going to be some support, because maybe Usher asked her to name him and said it was okay to name him, because if she names him, then he's now implicated, and not on his own doing, right? He doesn't want Diddy to see that, oh, he intentionally made a wholehearted decision to cooperate, with the feds. The only reason he's coming forward is because Don, quote unquote, named him. Like, I could see somebody trying to find a way, Usher, because he works so close with this man, like Usher and him go back to him being a teenager. You could imagine that Usher, saw, witnessed. As a matter of fact, we know it was so bad because he got asked at a radio station, would he allow his child to go over there to Diddy's house, and he said hell no. Not just a no, but a hell no. Hell to the no, okay? And that's saying a lot. And I think also too, a lot of the times when people see these situations with such a villainous man like Diddy, the reason that they're also able to continue doing the things that they do, like with Cassie, is because they find people around them who are so empathetic to their trauma and the torturous things that they're going on inside. I beat your ass, i.e. Cassie, but because I'm such a tortured soul, I've been through so much. Oh, and the messages came out about him. Oh, my kids, they, think about my 6 kids. No, nigga, you think about your 6 kids. You weren't thinking about your kids when you was roofing people. Like, you weren't thinking about your daughters when you were doing that to Cassie, having her hooked on ketamine and looking up intentionally BBC, big black, okay, for her to be taken advantage of with, probably because you ain't got it. All the stuff in the world, you got all the money and still ain't got no big, okay? One of the things that makes men secure is their money and their dick size. And there's one more thing. I think it's their car. It was like a study done of all the things that make men feel secure in their masculinity. And it was money, dick size, and I think the third one is car. But nonetheless, for you to intentionally be Googling that, Diddy, you gotta be lacking. But here comes the thing of, like, how many people they gonna call forward? Because, bitch, surveillance is 2008. God dang, that's a lot of people, okay? I do think Cassie's gonna make it to the stand. I think Dawn's gonna make it to the stand. I think Kaleena, simply for the fact that Diddy was ringing her phone, Kaleena's gonna make it to the stand. Who else? Y'all drop down in the comments. Who y'all think's gonna make it to the stand and have to testify against Diddy? Now, the fact that they denied his bail, y'all saw the sons and I'm surprised, y'all, that Quincy was there. I'll be sure, son. I really am surprised. Because he kept his distance from him. I thought. But maybe, I guess not. But y'all know, not only Justin, he keep his ass in trouble, but Christian did too. Christian, he got a case up against him right now of a girl who said that he took advantage of her out on the yacht. And I believe every minute of it, because there's no way that you grow up in an environment like that and you do not, take on those traits. And when people see like, oh, out of all of this, all the things he did, he was still able to manage being a good dad. Was he? Did he? We see the sons all the time, but what about the daughters? How good of a dad to the daughters can he really be if this is who he is? Laying hands on women in front of a whole ass dinner table. Like it's dinner and a show. I feel so bad for his daughters. I feel so bad for them. They lost their mom, and then their dad is in jail. And they're now hearing about all the things that he's done. And then the crazy part? The crazy part about it is when they start dating and start picking men, unfortunately, like they got dang daddy. What's the first thing these Negroes gonna tell them? You should have picked better. You should have chose better. That comment always makes me laugh, because I think, okay, so how do women pick? And we all know that women pick men based upon their dads, right? That's why that's that narrative of, oh, daddy issues, it's obviously more apparent in women because you see it in the type of men that they pick and the type of behavior that they accept. But daddy issues in men, if women can't pick good men with their daddy issues, then that means that y'all don't know how to be good men with y'all's daddy issues, because y'all have never seen it, right? But this notion of pick better, all these women are picking based upon their dads, i.e. the men in society. And there seems to be a common theme amongst women having to quote unquote pick better. So then what does that say about y'all as dads? But then we have situations like this that only confirm what we've been knowing about the type of dads that y'all are. Treacherous. But, have a two-parent household. Meanwhile, the dad's doing shit like this. Kim Porter allegedly was writing her book and stuff, and we saw what happened to her. Everybody's like, open that case back up, and I agree wholeheartedly. But Diddy, you locked up. You ain't getting out of this one, especially for the fact that Young Thug was the other very popular, big names Rico case. He getting off. Young Thug getting off because of that shit that happened with his lawyer and the judge, and finding out that that judge was moving dirty. So the fact that Young Thug's getting off after all that Rico stuff, oh, Diddy, you going without a shadow of a doubt, because they can't let another big fish off the hook. Also, simply the fact that there's evidence, okay? There's evidence. And that's why I'm getting to all you men sitting here coming forward with he just freaky. No. Why are you ignoring the evidence of the other actions of the things that he did? Why? And it's because y'all probably, as Boosie said, we've all been guilty of that. Okay, so you've been guilty of flying these girls out. Are you also guilty of drugging them? Are you also guilty of having sex with them without their consent? Because that's what the issue is. That's what's illegal. We're not talking about the things that are legal. We're talking about the things that are illegal. I literally, it chaps my ass watching these men do that. And then sit here and have the nerve to tell women, find you a man that's a provider or protector. Oh, we're naturally leaders. We're naturally protectors and providers. Are you really? Because the stats is showing otherwise. The numbers are showing otherwise. Women don't know how to be accountable. Women are liars. Guess what? Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. So how about y'all go check the numbers about just how good men are for women? Y'all check the stats and see if those numbers line up with that account of y'all saying that y'all are protectors and are providers. But yeah, you guys, that just a little I got light yang yang. While I had a little bit of time, I'll talk probably a little bit more on Diddy when I get to the house and read about, I'm sure, more information that damn came forward. Diddy, only thing I can tell you was in the famous words of Karen Huger, to go ahead and tell your husband not to drop the soap. When she tell Ashley, tell Michael not to drop the soap. But hey, Diddy, look, you'll be able to get all your freak offs in prison. Okay, it's a lot of men in there who wouldn't mind getting their prostate tickled. Okay, it's a lot of men in there who will consensually free up the bussy to you. Okay, ooh, Diddy, yeah, this is it for you. This is it for you. Lock him up. Send a nigga to jail.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail, Diddy. Okay? Go ahead. Bend over. Squat. Cough. Okay? And then not to mention, they said when they arrested him allegedly in the hotel, he had the pink tussie, okay, the cocaine on the damn dresser. He said, let me get high one last time. Let me go ahead and take one last bump so I can be high through the rest of this, because this isn't real life. This can't be happening to me. I know Diddy is literally thinking to himself, this can't be happening to me. All the people in your circle, Usher, all these celebrities, Stevie J with his old slow ass. I'm still pissed off that he really tried to come after Faith and her money. Faith, girl, bitch, you too, Faith. I love you, girl. You love your music down boots. But bitch, you's a witness too. All of y'all are witnesses. Order in the court. Order in the court. Okay? All rise for the case of Diddy, Sean, Puffy, Brother Love, Sean, John, all these different aliases, Combs, okay? All alter egos that you try to. I really feel like he changed his name, especially with that love stuff, that Brother Love. Oh, we gotta embody love. He changed his name so many times, I think, because he was disgusted with himself. A lot of men internally know they're degenerates and are disgusted with it, which is why they project all this stuff onto women about how they're whores and sluts and all these things. No, y'all are the whores and sluts. Y'all are the ones who don't know how to control yourselves. Y'all really have poor dick management, poor dick discipline. But y'all are leaders. But y'all can't lead yourself to the CVS to get you some condoms. Can't lead yourself to the clinic to get you tested. Out here, look at the HIV rates, the STE rates literally tripling. I can't. Yeah, you guys, like I said, y'all, it's lights out for Diddy. It really is. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all make sure to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Y'all drop in the comments so you think about this conversation. What y'all think the future is looking like for Diddy. Who y'all think is going to get called to the stands. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And check y'all later. Deuces.